Welcome back everyone, and it's time to go balls deep. Today we are covering Black Clover Chapter 253 and adding to our theories regarding Dante's plan to create an invasion of devils, as well as the aspect of history repeating itself. In the second part of the video, we will discuss why Julius said Asta would die and whatever. Guys, you know what we're all thinking. Oh shit, ABD is gonna be using balls deep prediction magic, right? And remember, for me to keep constantly using this power weekly, I need your support. I need mana. So please, can you hit the notification button to join this community and smash the like button and follow us on social media.
俺んとこででけえ面するやつは許さねえ。そうだベニー、ここはお前の町だ。コンロの技使わせてもらうぜ。
By the way, you're probably wondering, where did last week's video on Noelle go? Well, we keep getting copyright strikes from Shueisha. Obviously, we use the policy of fair use, but we have been dealing with this type of shit behind the scenes all the time. Random videos get demonetized and taken off the platform, therefore making our income quite unstable. That's why it's so important that we need your support on a weekly basis, buying the Charred Asta merch just like all of these lovely individuals that are helping us out, because without you, we wouldn't be able to produce these videos in the first place. So thank you. Okay, so chapter 253 continues in the epic battle between Vanica of the Dark Triad and Mermaid Noelle. It begins with Noelle turning our psychotic waifu into a damn shish kebab, and man's been simping for that thing, but nah bruh. Vanica goes absolutely insane after laughing at her own injury, where she then activates Majukula's demon power. She activates 50% and goes in for the kill with Noelle, but Noelle effortlessly dodges through the attacks thanks to Lolopechka's spell, allowing her new fantastic mermaid form. Remember, the mermaid form allows easier access underwater for those melons to go all over the place. Wait, nah, no FBI this time round, fam. Let's look at the age of consent in Japan. I'm joking. What? What the fuck? But I'm being serious for a sec. Some of you pervs out there be DMing me and saying, fam, those buns look delicious, mate, and I want to put some meat in those buns. You know what I'm saying, ABD? ABD, you know what I'm saying?
You naughty. You teasing me, you naughty.
Vanica notes that she's starting to get fired up and bumps her power to 51%. And Noelle comments that it's a dramatic increase in power despite the small percentage. Noelle continues to dodge the attacks effortlessly, which is the advantage of Lolopechka wanting to have by having Noelle boosted and Vanica nerfed by 50%. In a way, this arena can be considered Noelle's territory. Vanica responds with more psychotic waifu laughter. Like, that's how I'm imagining this bitch's laugh to be. So she jumps to 52%. Noelle asks if she has any more thoughts than fulfilling her own goddamn desires, which fits into Vanica's personification of narcissism of the psychology Dark Triad, which we discussed before in the last video. But guess what? The video got copyright strike.
How you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
She then questions if Vanica killed her mother, Asia Silva. Now yes, it's been 17 years, but with our three heroes closely resembling their parents, who all took part in trying to disable the hostile takeover of the Spade Nation, assuming Asta's mum did too, by the way, plus Yuno's magic stone that is a super rare elven artifact and can summon devils, Asta being the only human with no magic, and Noelle having power identical to her mother, you'd think these villains would be able to say like, well, god damn, these fodder people appeared before me and relate exactly like my arch nemesis from 17 years ago. But no, it seems Tabata just covered up this with plot convenience, with Vanica being forgetful and focusing on the present, saying, bitch, I don't know who the hell any of you are.
You took everything from me.
I don't even know who you are.
But again, before you rage in the comment section, let's be serious and honest, guys. This is a question that we have to bring up. Noelle looks exactly like Asta with similar magic. Ralph says Yuno looks exactly like his dad, so why don't the Triad care? Is it because they lost their minds and humanity, or is there another reason? Let me know what you think in the comments. I think Tabata will answer this in the future. It's too obviously strange to ignore this fact. We have to believe in Tabata. Tabata sensei, you got this, mate. Never give up. Moving on, we have Mimosa, who is still struggling with the fat Vanica simp, where he tells her to give up because thanks to Vanica he cannot die, and she tells him she was trained not to lose to people like him.
You're a simp.
I don't know about you guys, but I would hate to get bodied by a simp too. Mimosa thinks to herself she's not fighting to save the world, and Noelle is not fighting to avenge her mother. They both flash back to a scene where they thanked Lolopechka for her hand in their newfound strength, but she quickly turns away their compliments and expresses some insecurities. She says that her grimoire and magic power are passed down to her, meaning that her accomplishments are not her own, and she isn't worthy of such praise since the work isn't truly her own. But Noelle reassured her that not just anyone can inherit such power and wisdom, which is true, since we all know with great power comes great responsibility. The Heart Queen beats down on herself even more by saying she's too clumsy and dumb to take on such a role, and she suffers from anxiety. She tells them getting cursed by Vanica made her disqualified as queen, but she forgets her role when around Noelle and Mimosa because they be best friends, and we know what they're talking about, right? They all want my man Asta, saying, "Girl, did you see thick Asta? Did you see that big black sword of his?" Anyway, the Heart Queen ends up telling them that she's afraid to die, but she should be worrying about the kingdom instead of being selfish thinking about, oh, I'm gonna die. Then we get a tender moment of the three of them hugging and Noelle taking the leadership role once again like her mother, telling her she can at least cry in front of her friends.
Is shit good?
They declare that they'll win for the Heart Queen, who is a very kind person.
You serious?
Yes, you heard that right. The power of friendship, guys. It's way too powerful, just as strong as Naruto's speech no jutsu. Moving forward, Vanica jumps in power constantly and settles on using all of her power, which is 70% thus far. Lolopechka panics, but Noelle said she was waiting for Vanica's full power as they devised a plan to have Vanica consume more mana this way, and Sekri seals her as their trump card, which is what literally transpires. Now, as I explained last week, Sekri was in the conversation from chapter 252, so we see her in human form for the first time after the time skip, and she applies rune magic with a spell enhancer called Mana Method to her eternal prison. So essentially, Vanica is nerfed by 50%, but she is using 70% of her devil's power. But the Heart Queen says that their team should be enough to defeat her if they are successfully doing their plan. But obviously, if Vanica gets defeated here, it will be a huge plot twist because we're all expecting Vanica to do a counter-attack or reveal another part of her magic that will allow her to escape. How can a character that has been built up for so long be defeated in a mere 2 to 3 chapters?
That don't make no sense.
But let's move on to Balls Deep Prediction Magic.
It's showtime!
Now, as you all know, being part of the anime Balls Deep community means that you have big brain. All of us should be on the same page if you watched our Anti-Magic Devil series, which means if you watch part 2, you will understand the concept of history repeating itself in Black Clover. In fact, more evidence has come out in chapter 252 that this Balls Deep theory is coming true. We've mentioned before that this part of the saga will emulate the Elf arc due to the numerous parallels and foreshadowing at hand. As a reminder, this includes Asta being part of the Tree of Death to parallel Yuno symbolizing the Tree of Life in the Elf arc, as both these elements are interconnected. Another point of evidence for this is what Lucifer plans to do with the Triad and how it parallels Patri's betrayal. First off, remember in chapter 149 how Patri betrayed the other Third Eye members and sacrificed them for the final act of the arc? Zagrid was revealed to be the master manipulator and was playing Patri the whole time and made him look like a pawn. This is quite literally what Lucifer could be doing to Dante. Dante is using the Tree of Death, and from chapter 246, the Black Bull spy found out that the Spade Nation researched the 10 Sephira and the Tree of Life to understand how to cast the magic to sacrifice the other arcane mages that they have been gathering that will cause the devils to enter into the elfly realm from hell. But doesn't it sound stupid that these devils will enter the world without a vessel to incarnate themselves in? These evil beings that will follow their king Lucifer's orders, they need to have a body to be at full power. That's what Zagrid said. Well, in chapter 149, Pathri also used forbidden magic in a similar manner, and he states, at this point, all I can do is reincarnate these three. However, achieving a complete rebirth, resurrecting everyone else will require phenomenal amount of power and sacrifice, far more than this. And to do it, we'll use the humans. And as he sacrifices the Midnight Sun members, he says, yes, you are the sacrifices that will revive my true companions. This therefore foreshadows the fact that forbidden magic involving the Tree of Life or the Tree of Death requires a supreme amount of energy and sacrifices to activate their true power. If William and Yami opened a portal for devils to enter the world, they will need arcane mages as sacrifices or vessels. Now, last video, we mentioned Dante wants to sacrifice the other arcane mages to open the Tree of Death. However, when that occurs, he could be stopped by Lucifer, who emulated Zagrid's role as the master manipulator in the last saga and will sacrifice the Triad and expose Dante for being a pawn. We all agree that it doesn't make sense that Lucifer is following Dante's orders and giving him all of this power for no reason, right? This is Lucifer we are talking about, the master demon that wants you to fall into despair and sin. One thing that we have all noticed in the Anime Balls Deep community, even you guys in the comment section, is that the Dark Triad have magic related to the human body. Zeno with bone magic, Dante with what appears to be flesh magic, and Vanica with blood magic. What's more is Vanica's disciples have the other body themed magic such as eyeball, hair, nails, tongue, and skin. Vanica confirmed that her disciples cannot die due to a curse that she has put on them. It's possible they will play a part in Lucifer's sacrifice to use their magic to create him the ultimate body to incarnate himself into, as possessing Dante alone would not be enough to maintain his massive amount of power. Remember how Asta says that he struggles with releasing too much anti-magic powers from his devil? And must I remind you of how much of a chad he is with all the muscles? This guy is thickster, sexiest, bro, just show the meme.
Man, this nigga sexy, bro. Like, I don't never be on like no, you know what I'm saying? I don't be on no gay shit at all, bro. But this particular nigga right here, bro, that's one sexy ass nigga. Bro, if I was a girl, legs wide open, bro.
Anyway, Julius did say that the price of using wave magic is losing your humanity. In cases we've seen it physically, like Sekri gaining devil horns, and mentally like the Dark Triad. So Dante is being manipulated by Lucifer like Pathri was with Zagrid maybe, and he simply plans to use Dante for his own power after making him insane, just as how Zagrid brainwashed Pathri into insanity and a despair for the Alpha. Now, something we must ponder on is how Meducula and Xenon's devil came about. If Dorothy says in chapter 22 that devils only come into this world from an anomaly and a ritual is made with them and a sacrifice for their power. So what was the anomaly that allowed them to come into this world? Well, in chapter 252 we do see Lolopechka having a flashback which is of the darkest and most disturbing panel in the series, which features a variety of cruel executions of civilians and even children. Could this method of inhumanity be the anomaly, the murder of hundreds of innocents so the Triad can summon the devil and to create a contract with them? We know in Christianity, it's believed malicious acts can make it easier for Satan to be interested in you and get his attention, especially if one plans to summon the devil. Since we have direct mythological and biblical references and symbolism in this arc, maybe the deaths of innocents are the anomaly that attracts devils, as it is the malice that Dante mentions so often is lacking in the world and wants to bring more of, where he says being evil is the most natural thing to a human, to Asta in chapter 242. Furthermore, can you say it with me? Bazooka! Balls deep, prediction magic is just way too powerful and correct once again. Because as we all know, Tabata is inspired from the Jewish Kabbalah. One heavy aspect of the Kabbalah is the depiction of both light and darkness as necessary aspects of the world system. So when Dante explains the plan to Yami, we see the concept of the tree of death, which Kabbalah translates to the Qliphoth tree. Qliphoth means the emanations of the left side and are ways to describe evil that oppose the Sephiroth, literal peels, shells or husks that are the representation of evil or impure spiritual forces in Jewish mysticism. The realm of evil is also termed as Sitra or Ahra, or the other side, which confirms why the devils say that their magic is from otherworldly. Right? So the Qliphoth are metaphorical shells surrounding holiness that obscure the divine light of the Sephiroth. The Qliphoth are represented by demons who live in what we call the places of impurity. While the tree of death is seen as evil, they are seen as a necessary aspect of creation. Without something obscuring the full light of God, it would overwhelm reality, and reality as we know it would cease to exist. This explains why Dante says to Asta, Yami, and pretty much everyone that he believes evil emotions is part of being human. He is playing the role of the Qliphoth tree.
I haven't a clue what's going on here, but I'll act like I do.
Now this analysis is pretty much confirmed in chapter 252, as the Heart Queen says that if they let the Dark Triad have their way of bringing the Tree of Death, over 90% of people on the continent will die, and it will spell the end of the world. Another fact we need to point out in chapter 252 is our theory of history repeating itself as it has gained more evidence. Immortality from Twitter DM'd his detailed analysis and theory, so shout out to them for bringing this back to our attention. Don't be shy guys and posting your theories on Reddit, Twitter, Discord or Instagram, because when we can, we do check you out. Essentially, the Queen states that the knowledge and spells of previous queens has been passed down for over 1200 years. But guess how she finds out about the Tree of Death and Dante's plan? It's through the book of knowledge that the past other queens experienced over the 1200 years. Therefore, this confirms that in the past, devils did come into the world through invasion and used the same method to do so. That's how it was written in the first place. What if the anti-magic demon came into this world through that aspect too? What if the anti-magic devil through the past in this history that the Heart Queen read, that's when he came into the world? Now this makes a lot more sense as to why Asta's swords are all revolved around destroying demons, because this is sort of confirming our analysis that there must have been a war against demons in the past when all races used to live in harmony maybe 1,000 years ago. Now of course I'm guessing it's around 1,000 years ago, but I'm using logic. This is because Lumiere 500 years ago had to learn about what demons were from a book. Everyone else was ignorant and didn't have a clue even at this period of time. And since Mimosa said in chapter 194 that she heard about dwarves from tales of old, I'm guessing ancient history is 1000 to 1200 years ago, because that's when the Heart Queen's knowledge starts from, right? Immortality agrees with me that Julius also knew about devils, but since the royals from the Clover Kingdom had no idea they were being manipulated by a devil, there would be no records of their corruption, which concludes that Julius also knows about devils from one specific historical event. He must know about Assia Silver's truthful death, and makes it extremely suspicious that the only ones he ever took under his wings as the Wizard King were the keys to the underworld. Think about it. William, Yami, Asta, Noelle and Yuno are all linked to this Dark Triad arc in a significant way, but these are all of the people that Julius took a careful interest in to look after, as he believes they will help him end discrimination in the whole world. This also explains why Julius can make a prediction that Asta will die. He has knowledge that no one else has. He could be saying this in multiple contexts. Does he mean in terms of a metaphor, as in Asta's loss of humanity using Weg magic will make him die? Or does he mean Asta will literally die because the Dark Triad will kill him to succeed in their mission?
Damn! That shit good!
Now, another question we must all have in this community is in regards to the Heart Queen reading history. Doesn't this mean someone similar to William and Yami's magic must have existed in the past for Dante's method to be in the history books in the first place? Immortality harnessed the power of balls deep prediction magic, and we came to the same conclusion that for the previous devil invasion to have happened, there must have been a dark magic user and a world tree magic user in the same lifetime. The theory on dark magic is that you have to be Yami traveled through dimensions to have this unique dimensional properties of it, meaning that the chances of Yami randomly stranding up on Clover are starting to become a lot less believable. Fun fact, Yami also said that when he first met William, his first thought was that William's ki blends well with his. What if Yami was brought to this world from Japan on purpose when he was a kid so that he would end up with dimensional dark matter magic that would end up opening the tree of death and the other worlds? To boil it down, in the past there were humans possessing world tree magic and dark matter magic, that's confirmed. These two people must have been used to open up the underworld for the first time, and that's maybe where the anti-magic demon came into the earthly realm. This would kind of then explain why William's lineage was cursed, the curse that marks the person with world tree magic, right? Let's not forget, Majicula specifically has cursed magic, and there could be a connection. This is because Majicula was probably out back then too, since according to the Agrippa family, Gordon's family, they held a contract with Majicula revealed in chapter 223, and they specialize in curse type magic. Anyway guys, thanks for joining me as always. I probably blew your goddamn minds. Be sure to let me know your opinion in the comment section below. Please make sure to smash the notification button and like the video. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram or Discord to stay in the know, and I'll see you guys next time.